So what we're doing here is we're going to be talking about how to activate different parts of your body, different muscle groups, key components of rooting yourself for the hips and the heels, and then that, the butts part back here, and the guts part with the core, to pull your chest forward, drive, lift, drive up through, and then opening up into that canopy up top, so tying up the tree example here, the analogy, to better reinforce strength and stability with controlled movement, weight shifting, and that. So this can add, you can progress this with more resistance, adding further strength and stability, and that dynamic component. So you're not going to necessarily be able to see everything as well, because I'm kind of in a little corridor here, but I do have this band here. Now, if you're doing this at home, I would suggest you probably use a heavier band. Usually the darker the band, the heavier the resistance. I do have this up over the door also, but you're going to want a door that opens away from you, and you're going to want to put this in probably the top hinge instead of over the door. This is a metal door, which is, I think, pretty smooth on the top. But if it's a wooden door, which will also mar, it might be a little rough and unfinished on top, and that could, cut your band. So tie a couple, like a double knot in it, throw it over the top hinge, and then also put it at a little bit of an angle, so you make sure you have some space around there. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back into my hips, and so my glutes. So I'm going to go offset. I'm going to put my right hip back here, or this one that's prominent here, okay? And so I'm going to sit back in that hip, and I'm going to pull actually my opposite arm. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I can take my right arm here, same as this hip, and I can actually reach it forward to get that twist to my body. Now the reason I'm doing the twist to the spine is to make sure I keep that chest up on that same side that I'm sitting into, so I don't scrunch too much into my low back. I want to get maybe a little rounding in the lumbar, but I don't want to round too much in my thoracic, so I want to keep that kind of driving forward. And an easier way to do that is to, you have that tension, like the seesaw there, the hip back, chest forward on that side. But that little bit of twist, so I can pull back the band with my opposite arm and reach forward with the same side here. Okay, and that's one way I can do that. I can switch legs and arms and go the opposite direction, sitting back and keeping that chest up and twisting against opposite direction of the band. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is I'm going to be going the opposite direction. I'm going to be going this way. So this is where we're challenging the core, things like a sit-up or crunch, not to collapse through the chest or bow too much forward or down. I want to think more forward. So here, imagine throwing a baseball, throwing pretty much anything. Even kind of bowling is a similar motion with the opposite foot. So in this case, I'm twisting from my rear leg and chest across towards my front foot. Really, again, keeping that chest up and forward as I twist my opposite arm coming back. It's the same side as the leg here. So getting that dynamic of coming across that way, that's more of the core. Now, if you can't use your arm, shoulder as well, there's a few modifications. To be honest, none of them work particularly well, but you could actually put the band down lower. So I'm gonna try that. So going forward from low to high through the chest, and that way I can get my body under it. I don't have to bring my arm up as far. So that's another option.